Welcome back. If you have learned that you have mesothelioma, that's a form of cancer almost always caused by exposure to asbestos, you want to hear from our next guest. Attorney John Comerford is back from Lipsitz in Ponterio, a firm that specializes in helping those with this diagnosis and helping those with that diagnosis receive compensation. So good morning, John. Nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
We should let people know that your firm has extensive history when it comes to handling these types of cases.
We do. We've had the pleasure of representing what I call the greatest Americans, really hardworking men and women who are the backbone of our society, who left their homes every day to feed their children and work in places that weren't always the safest. Unfortunately, in their golden years, they come down with a terrible disease. And we've been working on these cases for more than 30 years now, and we've had great success based in part by the motivation these great clients bring us to work hard for them.
And we should let people know that we bring this up because timing is very important, especially here in New York State.
Yes, you need to contact a lawyer immediately. And what's so sad about this disease is so many people come down with mesothelioma, and it's a signature disease only caused by exposure to asbestos. And people will come down with the disease and they'll have no idea how they were exposed initially. For example, women who launder clothes is a huge cohort of mesothelioma. People who live just by virtue of having the wrong zip code because they live near and around an asbestos plant that is spewing out dangerous asbestos. So many people come down with this disease and they had no idea they were even exposed.
Yeah.
And then we have gathered a database and information that can really help so many people in Erie County, Niagara County come to us and help them, because we want you to focus on your faith, your family, your health. We don't want you focused on a lawsuit. So we make it as simple as we can for them.
And that's just one of the reasons why you'd want to go to Lipsitz and Ponterio for something like this. We should also mention that your firm recently obtained a trial verdict in Monroe County.
We did. It was an $8 million verdict. It was about a 2.5-week trial. And I'm going to be, very candid with you. We represented a gentleman who I thought was the part of the greatest generation of America, a gentleman defined by loyalty to his wife, his one church, his one wife. And on the other side of the case was an asbestos company who did not live by the same code of conduct. And I think the jury, when they saw this dichotomy of what I call a great American, someone that we could all strive to become, versus a company that not only knew about the hazards of asbestos, but went out of their way to hide those hazards. And I think once the evidence was laid out over a 2.5-week period, the jury spoke loud, and they wanted to let everyone know that this conduct in upstate New York is unacceptable.
Absolutely. John, after something like this happens and we find that the company itself is liable, is there any kind of a criminal case that you can go after when they know this kind of stuff is dangerous and they know they're spewing this out to the public?
The short answer is yes. It's rare. A lot of people are familiar with the W.R. Grace story. That was they mined a product called vermiculite out in Montana, and they were indicted for that because they were spewing out asbestos. But you really have to show an intentional conduct. So for the most part, this will not spill over to a criminal investigation.
The important thing, if you have been diagnosed with mesothelioma, you need to fight for your rights, and you know what? Lipsitz and Ponterio will fight with you, and they'll fight just as hard. Thanks, John. We so appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Let's give you that information as we go to break. If you'd like to contact them, it's 849-0701, or simply log on to lipsitzponterio.com.